Welcome to the maiden series of Insight Byte. Here we discuss latest trends and topics in research and industry. And today I'm going to be your host. My name is Gelda. Today we are going to discuss a very keen topic, which is pertaining issues of sustainability and its influence in experiences when it comes to tourism. And to do that, I have with me here Professor Mahmoud Abdullahi Mahmoud, who is an associate professor in marketing at the marketing department in the University of Ghana Business School. He's here with Mrs. Bernice Boache Ayete, as well as Mr. Idris Mohammed, who is also a PhD student. We are actually going to delve deeper into this issue of security, safety, and clean air when it comes to its influence in experiences in tourism. So welcome very much today, Professor, Mrs. Bernice, and then Mr. Idris. We are delighted to have you here. So fun fact, this topic is actually a study that has been undertaken by Professor, Mr. Idris, Mrs. Bernice, and a few other people. So it's great to have you here since we are actually going to talk about this topic together. Right. So first of all, what was the motivation for this study that you undertook?
Thank you very much. Before I talk about the motivation for this particular study, let me talk generally about the tourism sector. We all know the tourism sector is an important sector of every economy. And as a result, governments sometimes deem it fit to even have a ministry responsible for the tourism sector. The tourism sector also generates a lot of employment for the youth and other people in the economy, as well as the economies that tourist destinations are found. Now, the key issue is there are so many factors that can sustain the tourism sector. And in this particular research, we decided, based on what has been done already in the academic literature and in practice, to zero into issues of security, safety, and clean air, so that we see these as drivers of this people's intention to visit a tourist destination, and also we see it as something that can moderate the perception of people to visit tourist destinations. So the key motivation for this paper is to draw attention to the academic world, as well as the practitioners and those who want to engage in tourism activities, to draw attention to the issue of having a clean environment and also having safety issues at heart, and also security matter. It matters for you to be able to draw people to these destinations. Having said this, normally it's very difficult to attract people to these destinations, and they look out for these things to make sure that they are able to come. These are some of the key elements and these are the three issues that we delve in this particular work.
Okay. Thank you very much, Prof. So just to discuss openly, what is the concept of safety, security, and then clean air? What exactly do we mean by these terms in relation to tourism? How relevant are they actually?
Okay, so safety. We know there is risks involved in embarking on tourism. And if people are not too sure their safety, they will not, nobody expects to be harmed in visiting a tourism destination. You don't want to be harmed in any way, be it physically or mentally. So when we talk of safety, we are looking at people being, protected. They are rest assured that there will not be anything harmful happening to them. If you look into our paper, one of the literature that was cited was in 2015, tourists visiting Tunisia were attacked. And in that particular period, that was around 2015, I was in UK attending a conference, and the bodies of these people were being returned to UK. This is a safety issue. There were terrorists attacked them in Tunisia. So you need to make sure that you put in safety measures in place so that tourists will not be attacked, or they will not be physical or mentally harmed in any way. Now, when it comes to security issues, yes, it's also about protection to make sure that these tourists are safe. Issues of burglary and stealing and any other thing should not be should not be their concern. They should be protected. Now, issues of having clean air related to these days, we are concerned about the quality of air that we are receiving, especially those of us who live in the cities. And a tourist destination is supposed to give us the natural setting. And sometimes we don't seem to get it. Areas are polluted. You go to some beaches and people are defecating in those areas. How can you get a clean air in such kind of areas? So we expect that, there shouldn't be contaminants in the air. They should be clean. The environment should be clean for tourists to experience, because people want to experience nature. And if they come, and as a result, and most of these things are usually human caused. When it comes to, maybe if I want to talk about these three factors, and especially the pollution of our air, is normally more of man-made than even the natural causes of this clean air that we are talking about. So these are the key concepts that we're looking at.
Great. So personally, I'm actually keen on safety. I remember, I think last 2 years, a friend wanted us to go paragliding at Kwewu, and I was so concerned. I was like, I really don't know what's going to happen to me. I don't know if I'm going to fall off in the bush somewhere and die. What's the safety concern here? Actually, we really don't know much about it. We just know people actually go to Kwewu, have fun, and engage in paragliding and other activities, right? Yeah. That being said, I feel like promotion of these tourist sites and the various activities that they do are very important, especially when it has to do with boosting the issues of safety and security on various platforms to encourage people to come, because then they know when they come, they are definitely going to feel safe when they engage in any activity at all. Now, I find social media to be one of the key platforms nowadays, right? Where you see destination marketers actually marketing their platforms, their destinations on these social media platforms. You also see other tourists who just openly walk into these tourist sites trying to share their experiences and all that. And I know that is one thing that your work is actually centered around. So how do you actually find that, personally, from your experiences on social media, how do you find it now? Do you feel like these destinations, their safeties, the clean air, the security is actually being properly promoted to bring people into these destinations?
Okay, so I see that here you want to talk about the short videos, narratives that is found in our work. And I would like to invite my colleagues, I know they've been, so that they can also have a feel of what, I don't know whether Benis will want to talk about the short video. Okay, good.
Okay, so so regarding your question, we all know what's the role of social media now. It's undoubtedly impactful in everybody's life, you understand? Especially in 2018 to 2019, TikTok was known as one of the most downloaded, mobile app in Ghana. So one of the justifications for us using TikTok short video. So if we all use TikTok, you realize that you would now see tourists, or you now see people who have experienced a service and they are not paid. It's in marketing, there's something called social media evangelism. It's on you to let the world know the service you've experienced. And then we shifted that to tourism. You understand? So the TikTok short video is mainly about someone letting out his or her experience. You understand? So if you look at our work, we looked at a video on Molly Park, a tourist who visited the Molly Park and was telling his experience to the world, to everybody who would, come across the video. You understand? So, and it becomes impactful because I get to know it's not subjective, or it's not influenced by the service providers. You understand? So if I get to know this experience I'm given is not influenced by service providers, then it's as the truth. It is actually how the person experienced it. So its impact is greater than, I would say, sponsored advertisement. You understand? So that's the reason why, because in our work, you realize that these three drivers Prof mentioned actually led to intention to experience, because we assumed that the people who watched the video got to know that this tourist is not being influenced. He or she is sharing his experience about it, experience about the clean air, the experience, the safety bit of the Molly Park, and then the security bit of the Molly Park. You understand? So it's basically about that. Everybody is using social media to promote his business. What are tourists doing? So that's it.
Yeah, exactly. So I realized your research was actually grounded on the theory of narrative transportation. I would want you to talk about that and how it actually relates to your work.
Okay, so let me pass that to Mr. Idris to address.
Okay, the narrative transportation theory, when you look at the short video narrative concept, and according to Green and Brock, 2001, they have postulated that the issue of narrativity, how your experience will be shared, will submerge a viewer into the world of what? Narrativity. So when you look at earlier what my colleague has said, Madam Bennis, she said a tourist just shared his experience at what? Molly National Park. So the experience the tourist shared about safety, security, and clean air submerge what? The viewers, that's the potential tourists, into what? The world of what? Narrativity. That's the story about what? Safety, which is key in what? In the tourism industry. Do you understand? Do you get it? And the issue of what? Security and clean air. So basically the theory of what? Narrative transportation talked about what? The immersion of what? And viewers into the world of what? Narrativity.
Okay, so in this case, in the promotion of security and then safety and the clean air, if I understand you, that means as a tourist, if I actually go on TikTok, take a video of my experiences, it's able to make my viewers immerse themselves in the video or have a fair idea or experience of a feel of how exactly the tourist site is in relation to
the destination look like. So it is how the story will be what's narrated. When you narrate a good story about a destination, that's why it is very, very, very important for destination managers and marketers to put their destination into a good shape. When you experience something that you are not happy with, that she talked about social media evangelism. We have negative social media evangelism and we have positive social media evangelism. And in evangelizing, you are sharing the experiences that you've encountered wherever you go. So if the experience is not conducive, it is not nice, that's what you are going to share. And when you look at TikTok and what tourists are doing now, they are sharing mostly their live experiences. Are you okay? They are sharing what their life experiences. So the theory is talking about how individual share his experience and how people will be immersed in what? In that what? Experience that he has shared. And that experience he has shared can lead to what? Intention for somebody what? To visit that destination.
Okay, so I know as researchers, one of the key things you look out for is our methodology, how exactly you carried out your research, the people involved and all. So I would actually want you to talk a little about how you went around your research for our viewers listening who want to learn a little bit. Yeah.
Okay, so we actually used a snowballing sampling technique because we needed a referral with like you people who use, if I have friends who use TikTok, you understand. So that's how we did it. We used because we are found in the business school, we used research assistants to help us. 5 research assistants to help us. We targeted 450 people, but then we got 357 out of it, and it was shared online. So, as I said, we used a video about the Molly Park. So we'll show it to you. You would have to see the video before you can talk about or you can answer the research question. Right. So with the 450, we had 357 answering the question because you need to view the video before you be able to, answer the research question. Yeah. So out of it, after we use SEM to analyze the data that we have, and then we realized that intention, safety, security, all about TikTok, safety, security, and then clean air had a positive impact on purchase intention, which we all know why it will, because people are very much concerned about these concepts. So if a narrator or a tourist is hitting on these things, is that there's this likelihood of it leading to a tourist, of a prospective tourist wanting to experience it. Now, interestingly, the moderator, which is the short video narrative itself, the video, had a negative impact on it, on people wanting to experience the tourist destination, which for us, we assumed that the environment which the tourist did the video was a bit foggy. We all know the Savannah place, it's the Hamatan, because even in the narrative of the tourist person, he said that, talked all about the security, talked about the safety, talked about the clean air and all that, but then touched on the Hamatan bits of the region, and then said that it was an experience he noticed. So we assumed that these, factors surrounding that particular tourist destination led to it negatively. So it actually weakens the relationship. Yeah.
Okay. So there's a likelihood that if the video were more...
So you see, everything is centered on the video. Okay. Everything is centered on the video that the tourist is narrating. But then anything about safety, clean air, and then security, there's a likelihood of it leading to intention to experience. But if the video has other things, so this is to, managers of tourist, destinations. How best will you make sure people will experience with the bats being minimal? You understand? Because if you look at short video, there would be like, and it's normally on restaurants. If you've seen it on TikTok yet, so they would be scoring the food they ate, the environment and all that. Then sometimes they say, but customer service is not something I would go in. The but doesn't help. You understand? So we assume that the experience bit of the Hamatan, and because the video itself was a bit foggy. which we can't fault because that is the natural characteristic of the tourist destination.
In that regard, then there's a likelihood that people are not going to visit these places when they see them on TikTok because they perceive the place to not really have the quality of.
The reason why it's weakening that relationship.
Maybe with this, what we needed to do also is to control for these issues coming up. Because if you look at the framework of our study, there are no control variables there. So if we had done that, probably this will minimize the effect of the weather. Let me put it that way. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I think Idris, you wanted to add
so when you look at the effect, the moderator, that's the short video narrative, it is quite significant with high degree of the significance level. The issue is how the foggy nature of the weather, which some people think, because of how the weather is, it is not safe. But in one moment, just check this. People are saying the Harmattan season, it is quite a nice experience that any individual or any viewer or any tourist can visit. So we can come from the backdrop of that to promote even Harmattan as something that is an added experience that you can get when you visit Mole National Park. So we can come from that perspective. Because it is just a tourist that has shared his experience, and we can't just score that experience to be 100%. He himself said that the Harmattan is one of the experience that he has had visiting this part of Ghana. So it is something that is key in this study, and we have to look at it.
Okay. So just for destination marketers, any other marketers who are hoping to actually promote or boost their destinations, tourist sites, maybe even restaurants, hotels, and other things. What's the take home for them here?
The take home is that, you see, short video narrative has come to stay. And it is time for destination marketers and management to tap into this growing opportunity. It has moved everything, and this is coming strongly from what? From the tourist perspective. I just visited your destination. Let's look at the destination huge. Someone is here, the person is taking live video of himself, his friends are watching, everyone. And something will just emerge. Someone will ask, where is this? Where is this? So that question of where is this, some interest, the person has developed some interest for the destination. And that's what is happening within the social media space. So it is time for us to get the tourists, involve them into content creation.
Yes.
Give them the necessary tools. There should be Wi-Fi 24/7. They can get all these things, and their experiences can be shared within the social media space, not only on TikTok. We have one person that is on TikTok, Instagram, and a lot of these social media sites. Let's say one influencer that you have not paid have visited your destination, and your Wi-Fi is on, everything is on, and the person just shared that nice experience. Someone who is having over 100,000, 1 million followers. Just imagine. And in other parts of the world, people are being employed not to come and work like a regular staff of the organization, but because of the following. They are employed because of the following. So especially within the hospitality and tourism industry, if you have 1 million following, they just employ you, giving you money. You are not permanent staff. Just come there once a while. Come and talk, take your short videos and just share it on your platforms. You see the mileage, the currency that will go out, it is quite huge. So it is time for us to look at that direction.
Yes, I think influencer marketing is actually growing and is really narrating our marketing environment now. So it will definitely be very good for these destination marketers to hop onto it. Definitely. one influencer shares your content, it goes a long way to influence people's perception on safety, security, and then clean air. Okay, so we are wrapping up, and
I think before we wrap up, let me just add to what he has said. It means that destination managers have to do a lot of work. If you don't do good job, they can also share bad experiences about your place. So you have to make sure that you have a clean environment. The security and safety issues are sometimes we hear tourists being attacked.
Yes.
And that is not good. So if we can make sure that we do our homework well, so that one other area that you can also think of is the promotional budget. It's always very high. And if you're able to do this, and these tourists come, one or two people come, they take their own videos, you are not controlling it, it doesn't affect your budget in any way, and they freely distribute it for you. So what we need to do is to do our homework well, so that whatever report that is going out there is positive, renewals to our own benefit, rather than negative stories going out from our companies or destinations. There are so many tourist destinations in Ghana, but sometimes some of them, the information that is coming out from those sites, they are not good at all. Okay, look at our beaches. Sometimes people take videos and people are doing their own things there.
that is a whole conversation to actually talk about. Yes. Yeah.
So we need to, and I've witnessed also the same. You see, if you look at our forest reserves, our mining sectors, they are supposed to be tourist destinations. But look at the kind of short videos that are coming out from those sites. Sometimes our water bodies are completely gone. So it is not good. I've seen a video where somebody trying to compare mining areas in other parts of the world and mining areas in Ghana. That is not good. I don't think this will give us any mileage. We need to watch out on that.
And Prof, a typical example is one video being shared about Kintampo waterfalls or something, about the dusty nature or how the water got contaminated. And it sent a negative signal over there. People were saying, why? But I believe the destination, the management came out strongly to defend it. It is about the rainfall, and the level of rain was too much. And so as for them, if you are managing your destination, you should know what to do. Yes. Tourists will always share their experiences, and you should know how to manage the negative from the positive. At least they should work on people. If I'm watching a short video and I need information about the destination, it should not be something difficult to find. It should not be something difficult. The information should be accessible, so that if I can go, I can read more about what Mole National Park. This morning we watched like two or more videos about Mole National Park. That was shared by tourists. And the experience is quite very good. The experience is quite very good. So if I see an experience such as this, I'll be willing to visit the destination. And this thing will not cost the destination at any cost. It will rather reduce the promotion budget. Right? It is like we are not tapping into this important thing that is. Social media is here. We cannot ignore it.
Okay, so on this note, I want to also advise those who are managing the destination. What is their relationship with academia? What is their relationship with academia? Sometimes is very weak. We do all this kind of research. We conduct it. How do they use it? How do they, even if there are so much technicalities in what we do and the approaches, we'll be able to summarize for them to use. So we are just, I want to appeal to practitioners to let us collaborate and see how we can make these things very nice for all of us. We are all stakeholders. If the tourism sector is working well, it's working for Mother Ghana. So I expect that practitioners out there should read our articles. If they want us to break it down further for them, we can do that so that we can see how we can promote the tourism area.
Yeah, and that is the role of Insight Byte. We actually break it down to the smallest bits for everyone to be able to understand, especially for practitioners also to appreciate what we do as researchers. Yes, and so to carry today, personally, I know that in human nature, we actually tend to talk about good things and even bad things the more. So please, to our practitioners, destination marketers and all, do not forget to create great environments for your tourists when they come around, because one good word goes a long way, so does bad words. Okay, so this has been a wonderful session. Thank you so much for coming, Professor Mahmoud, Mrs. Bernice, and then Mr. Idris. This was a very insightful session. To our viewers and listeners, thank you very much for making time for today's episode. And we will bring you more of this in our next episode. Thank you so much. This has been Insight Byte, and I'm Gilda. Thank you for coming. Ciao.